told each year through a dedicated team of advocates. Every day, these advocates hear stories of violence and trauma. They listen, and they take action. Our advocates walk alongside our participants as they try to find safety in an emergency situation, navigate the legal system to get an order for protection, try to find housing that is not only affordable, but safe, cope with their own trauma while also trying to support their children's mental health and academic needs. Our advocates can help. The best way for you to understand what our advocates experience and to understand the incredible impact they have is to listen to a day in the life of their work. We will have the text on the screen here so you can follow along. A day in the life of a Cornerstone advocate. It's Tuesday morning, a regular old Tuesday morning at Cornerstone, although it could be any day of any week. As a civil and criminal justice, or CCJI advocate, every day begins the same, with pulling the court calendar of in-custody hearings for domestic abuse-related charges in the cities where I'm assigned as an advocate. Every morning, I receive police reports on these cases. Today, there are 5 new reports, and they all have court hearings scheduled this morning. The list of cases varies day to day. It can be short or long, 1 case or 5, simple or complex charges, victims I already know, or names that are new to me. But there is never not a list. The police reports provide names and phone numbers for the victims, or as I prefer to call them, the Cornerstone participants. My next step is to call these individuals to provide information about our services and talk to them about safety planning, the criminal justice process, and crime victim rights. Then I talk to them about what will happen at the hearing today. On this Tuesday, as I do every day, I pick up the phone. My first call is to Trevor. I've been assisting him with developing and implementing a safety plan to get away from his abusive ex-husband. The arrest report indicates he violated the order for protection and went to Trevor's house last night. I'm proud of Trevor for following the safety plan and calling the police to have him picked up. We agree to meet at the courthouse prior to the defendant's hearing today to discuss his next steps and possible outcomes of the case. Trevor is determined to do whatever he needs to do to get his abuser out of his life. This is not his first time through the process. His resilience is humbling. The other 4 calls I make are cold calls. Sometimes the arresting officer informs the victim on scene they may receive a call from Cornerstone, but most of the time they have no idea who I am or that advocacy is even a thing. I have no idea what to expect when I make these calls. Every situation, every participant is different. Their need is the same, safety and stability, but their path to get there and the kinds of support they'll need will be very different. 2 of my 4 calls go straight to voicemail. I leave messages explaining who I am, offering my help. I'll keep trying. My aim is to connect with them, even if it won't happen in time for the hearings today. 2 of the survivors pick up, Monica and Jaleesa. I explain who I am, how confidentiality works, how I can support them, what options they have. I offer to attend court for the defendant's hearing today. If they will be there, I can meet with them in person. Either way, I'll be there to gather crucial information, like what the release conditions for their abuser will be. They each tell me their story, more personal than a police report. Monica's husband spent the night in jail after assaulting her and locking her out of the house. She called the police because her daughter was still inside. Jaleesa and her boyfriend broke up. Their argument was so loud, the neighbors called 911. He was arrested, but she was worried. Her landlord had warned her he was going to evict her if the cops come one more time. I can help you, I tell them. I have resources to help you. gone by in a blur. Now I have to scramble a little. I still need to create logs for prosecution with the participants' input and email them out. I load up my files, my laptop, and everything else, and dash for the car. I might have some time between hearings to read more arrest reports and send more emails, if I'm lucky. The in-custody list and hearings today are just a fraction of my caseload. I'm also responsible for following all of the domestic violence cases in my assigned city, from arrest through sentencing. The job of advocate doesn't involve a single touch. It is ongoing. It starts with the first call for help and goes through the sentencing of the abuser's case and beyond. And each path is different. But back to my regular Tuesday. While I wait in the courtroom, I catch a glimpse of Sonia. She worked with a fellow CCJI advocate months ago during a violent divorce. I wonder and worry why Sonia is back in court. Hopefully she's here clearing up a simple paperwork issue, but she may be in danger again. I scribble myself a reminder to have Sonia's advocate call her to check in. Advocacy doesn't end when the court case is over or the protection order is granted. Monica and Jaleesa arrive. I explain to them what the hearing will entail and what the judge might say. Afterwards, I talk to each of them about what just happened, answer questions, and talk about safety planning. They make appointments to meet with me in the office later in the week so we can work on next steps. When I mention orders for protection to Monica, she flinches. She has heard of these orders, also called restraining orders, and is afraid to file one because it'll just make my husband angrier. She's not necessarily wrong. At best, an order for protection keeps an abuser's behavior in check. At worst, it's a catalyst for greater danger, a threat of consequences for someone for whom consequences may not be a deterrent. I tell her I understand, and I do. I've seen it many times, and promise we'll discuss all her options together. Jaleesa is more worried about her landlord's reaction to the latest police call than she is about her boyfriend being violent again. I explain that as part of the advocacy process, we may be able to negotiate with her landlord to keep her in her apartment. And if that doesn't work, we can help with breaking her lease without a penalty and connect her with some resources to find somewhere else to live. It's likely Jaleesa will be assigned a second Cornerstone advocate from our Seas Park program, one who specializes in housing issues for domestic violence survivors. That advocate will work with me to ensure Jaleesa finds housing as part of her safety plan. Now, back to the office. The morning's hearings have ended, but my day has barely begun. This afternoon, I have appointments with 2 current clients, midway through implementing safety plans. One of them has decided to file an order of protection for her ex-husband, so I need to have that paperwork ready to go. Tomorrow, I'm meeting with the police sergeant to discuss training officers about best practices when questioning domestic violence victims on scene. It's a fantastic idea and a great opportunity. We're thrilled to do it. I just wish I didn't have to postpone client meetings to make it happen. I also noticed the CCJI voicemail box is full. Maybe, just maybe, I'll have time to return some calls. Many of those are people seeking advocacy, asking if we can help with their domestic violence situations. Others need resources we can't provide, like legal assistance with child custody cases. We'll return all those calls and refer them to one of our community partners who can hopefully help them. Later this week, the city I serve will hold its in-court date. Every city has at least one day a week when they hold actual court cases, where survivors may have to testify and will receive judgments from the judges or juries. These days require lots of preparation, and I'll work closely with the prosecutor and the police officers involved to get ready. And I'll do whatever I can to prepare the survivors. There's never enough time. For today, this regular Tuesday, the rest of my calls will have to wait. I'm barely through my office door when I'm called to the front desk for a walk-in. It's an emergency. A person needs help and can't wait. I stay with them until the advocate assigned to their city arrives. Walk-in clients are not uncommon here at the office and in police departments in the cities where we work. And we do what we can in the limited time we have. My Tuesday is almost over. I know I've gotten a lot of things done. I've talked to survivors, provided information, chipped away at next steps for my clients. There's been real progress. But on paper, it might not look that way. As advocates, we face a constant struggle. How to quantify the help we provide. People like measurables, indicators that can be tracked and compared on charts and graphs to illustrate progress. How many orders for protection did I write this year? Did I write more than I did last year? I mean, that would mean more people were helped, right? I wish it was that simple. But the order for protection is no golden key. For Monica or Jaleesa or Sonia, there is no number on paper that can measure their increased sense of safety. As advocates, we walk alongside our participants as they make their way toward better, more secure futures. But every path is different, and there's no way to quantify or compare the support we provide to these people, these survivors who are working to rebuild their lives. If something can't be measured, does it count? Of course it counts. It counts for Monica, Lajisa, Jaleesa, Sonia. It counts for me and the other advocates. The fact that survivors come to us and the fact that they eventually leave us with hope for a safe and secure future for themselves and their children, you bet that counts. What we do at Cornerstone, with support from you, our community, is immeasurable, because people are immeasurable. We only wish, as I do every day on my drive home, that we could do more of it.